As the President of the International Association for Dental Research, it's an enormous pleasure for me to welcome you all to this 96th General Session and Exhibition of the IADR.
At the gastric emptying rate, the closure of the pylorus. So you can see this is done by paracetamol measurements in plasma, and that is because paracetamol is not absorbed in the stomach, but immediately after the entry into the small intestine. And you can see here what happens normally. This is the low glucose dose, a rapid emptying of the stomach contents. But already at 75, this has been slowed down very considerably, and very much so after 125 grams of glucose. So what happens is that the stomach immediately senses this, mechanisms immediately sense this, and stops the emptying of the stomach into the small intestine. And that is really the most important regulator of postprandial glucose concentrations in people.
Now, there are a couple of different models for the relationship between tooth form and function. The traditional one is teeth as guides for chewing. And this is best articulated, I think, by Karen Heamy in the 1960s. And she wrote teeth are essentially an essentially passive element in the active masticatory apparatus and are dependent on the movements of the mandible for their functional interactions. In other words, teeth are basically passive players in the active game of chewing. So in this model, if you look, you have a flat tooth here, right? And a flat tooth here. And the ridges of enamel are running perpendicular to the plane of horizontal movement, well suited for milling or grinding. You've got a sharp bladed tooth here. And the movement of the jaw, in this case, is vertical. Think of a set of shears, a pair of scissors. Here you've got a cuspidate tooth, which fits neatly into a basin. Think of a hammer and anvil designed for vertical crushing. So again, teeth as guides for chewing.